Hello everyone, welcome to another very exciting tutorial. In the previous tutorial, I showed you how to create some sort of a transition for the image background. And if you looked at it, at the end of it, I showed you that if you set the position to center for the background position, it's going to be a little bit jaggy. And now in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can get that done. If you haven't watched that, please go ahead and watch it. Uh, Otherwise, you can stick to this tutorial. Pretty much, we're going to build this image sort of transition. As you can see, it's pretty smooth and very nice, and it's from the center of the image. Let's get started. So as always, I'm going to go to the codit.io in the editor over here. I'm just going to create a uh, div with image container class, as you can see here. Last time we only used this and set the background URL on this element here, but now I'm just gonna actually go ahead and create an image. I'm just gonna copy and paste this URL that I have over here. This is actually something that I took from Google, and I'm just gonna paste it here. Don't need any alt. So as you can see, it actually looks pretty bad. Let's set the image container width and height. Let's set maybe width of 800 pixel and height of 500 pixel. So as you can see, nothing changes, but if I set the overflow to hidden, you'll see that it actually cuts based on the sort of the size of the container that we have set over here, right? Okay, now we have to actually fix the sizing of the image. As you can see, the image itself is an element within our image container. So I'm just going to go ahead and switch to SCSS or SAS sort of preprocessor. And then here I'm just going to say IMG. And then I'll give it a width of 100 pixel, sorry, 100%. And then height, I'm going to set it to auto, right? So now if I do a border, maybe 1 pixel solid red, just want to see what's the border. All right, it looks good. Sometimes, based on the image size that you use, for example, this one, you'll see that the image size that you have, the width and height that you set, it actually is not proportional to the image size itself, and it looks pretty ugly. As you can see, we have this white space over here. You want to make sure that the proportions of the width and height to the actual image resolution matches. Uh, so I'm just going to go ahead and make it back to 800. Now you can see that it pretty much covers the whole thing. Now, the idea is that when I hover on this, the image changes the scale, right? So I'm just going to say ampersand colon hover. As you know, in CSS, you define it on the image container like this. And then inside that, I want the image to have a transform scale of, let's say, 1 and 1.1%, right? So now if you see, if I hover it, it actually has this kind of nice effect. And now maybe even more, let's just say 1.2. You'll see that it kind of looks like this. And now on the image itself, since I changed the scale on the image when I hover on the image container, I'm just going to set the transition to be all and maybe 1 second, right? Now if I hover, you'll see that you have this very cool kind of animation. So I'm just going to change the maybe to 0.7 so that it's a little bit faster. And you can see that you have this very nice smooth transition of the image itself, right? You can always go ahead and check out the easings on kotus.com/easings, and you'll see that there are a bunch of easings here that you can always use. So for example, let's choose this one. So it's a little bit like it's sort of ease out. Just gonna scroll down the whole page and copy and paste the cubic Bezier section of it. Going back here, and after the transition, I'm just going to put this. Now you will see that the effect is a little bit different and a little bit smoother. So, and also you can always go ahead and choose something else. For example, something that is a little bit jaggy or fast, and it jumps. If I go back and I changed it with this one, you'll see that you get this kind of effect. You see, it kind of jumps suddenly. So depending on what you like, you can go ahead on kotus.com/easings, and then you'll see that you can try and play with these and set your sort of animation timing function or transition timing function so that it looks exactly as the one that you like, right? So for in my case, I actually prefer the previous one. So I'm just going to set that so you can see that it actually has a ease out. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we're going to build an image gallery using Display Flex. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and support me in creating all these cool tutorials. Have a good day and night.